Hi everyone, and welcome to this short video showing some of the progress of the build-up of this very romantic portrait in soft pastel. I hope that you enjoy this. If you do, please do stick around and have a look at some of my other YouTube videos. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified when I create new videos. Also check me out on Patreon, where you can find all my full-length videos in real time, giving you all of my top tips. So unfortunately I had a few technical issues whilst filming this piece, and I've managed to salvage as much footage as I could to make this short video, and I've also included some progress photos in there too, just to give you a nice build up of this piece anyway. As always, I begin with the sky, and this part I did manage to salvage so I can share the entire sunset with you. And I was really looking forward to working on this piece, mostly because of the beautiful background, that gorgeous sunset over the mountains, and then of course you get those lovely sunset colours reflected in the water below, so a really colourful photo reference to work from. And of course the lovely couple in the foreground, who I will get to at the very end, so I want to create the entire piece around the couple first and work on them last. I'm always working from the background to the foreground, so that sort of makes sense here, that I will have everything in behind the couple before working on them. So lots of lovely, rich, vibrant, warm tones in the sky. And then some of those lovely blue, violets and purples for some of the cooler parts of the clouds. But a really fiery red sunset close to the horizon, and I'm breaking out some of my most vibrant Unison colours for this. And you can see how vibrantly that colour goes on using the soft pastel sticks. It's a bit like adding little washes of colour, not leaning too heavily, just adding layers and layers, building it up gradually. And then bit by bit I start to add some extra details to the clouds. Lightening that area of the sky at the very top. It's quite a dark piece overall, so we need that brightness from the top of the sky. We're just coming into that lovely twilight time of the evening after sunset. And I do love to paint a good sunset. I have a few other videos here on my YouTube if you'd like some help with painting sunsets. And also over on my Patreon channel, I cover a mixture of different subject matters. So this one's quite unusual for me, something like this with a landscape and a couple. A lot of the time I'm painting animals, which you'll see if you follow my work. But I always love to get a different challenge. And I try to teach as many different subject matters on my Patreon and YouTube channels as possible. As a working artist, I get given so many different challenges. As a commissioned artist, some of the things that I've painted over the years, I probably wouldn't have painted them if it was just me choosing what to paint all the time. And that's one of the things that I love about commissions. So this was a particularly nice one to get. And I think the piece was a nice surprise present for the couple who feature in the painting. So I hope that they did like it. Such a sweet picture. And a very beautiful couple on their happy day. I do love the portraits where you get to see people from behind. One, I haven't got the tricky little fiddly faces to work on, but I always think it makes for a really moving image. So something really sweet seeing people from behind. You don't necessarily see their facial features, but you can tell so much from a person's posture, the way they're standing. And I think this is a really sweet, warm image of the two. And then of course it's reflected in that beautiful warm sunset in the background, so all in all, the perfect romantic picture. So I spent quite a while just working on the sky, starting to bring in some of the mountain range. Always working from top to bottom. And with soft pastel, that's always a good thing, as it gives your hand somewhere to lean. So this is a slightly shorter amount of footage than normal, but I've tried to slow it down a little less than I normally do. So although we're speeded up, it's hopefully not too fast. You can still see some of the techniques that I'm using, just using some of the lighter colours to come in now and shape around some of the clouds. Just creating that backlit look. So my mark's getting smaller and smaller as I start to add some more detail to the clouds. Always when I'm working from photo reference for clouds, I'm really using it as a guide. Unlike with the portrait part of a painting, where you want to get an exact likeness, there isn't that same pressure when you're painting clouds. No one's going to know if it looks exactly like the cloud. So I'm just using my photo reference as a guide here. And sometimes it's just good to know when to stop working on a sky. Sometimes you can really overwork clouds. And just using some bits of pastel pencil and a few blenders along the horizon line just to crisp up the edges of the mountain range. And we've just got a little bit of footage from this part of the painting left, where I start to bring some of the colours from the sky down into that area of water. So using those exact same colours from the sky, trying to repeat them for the reflections. So at this point, I run out of footage until we get to the wedding couple themselves. But here is where I've left you in the footage. And from here, I start to block in the areas of land, working on the reflected light in the water. And you can see with each area of land as I come forward in the composition, they should get darker. So as I recede into the distance, my colours get lighter and lighter. Each mountain range should get lighter as it gets further away. But I'm just starting to bring in some of the greens, and I even complete the full green grass foreground before getting started on the wedding couple themselves. And even with them, just working from top to bottom, you can see from the scale of this here that they're really tiny within the composition. So making use of the bigger sticks to fill in the colour, but then definitely coming in with the sharp points of the pastel pencils where I need to make those crisp edges. So we join in at this stage and I can give you a bit of an overview of the bride's dress. Again, using lots of the colours from the sunset sky. As a general rule, white and black items both reflect a lot of the colours around them, something I'm always talking about when I'm painting white things. So in this case, that lovely white dress reflecting a lot of the colours from the sky. And this was some footage that I actually made into a full-length tutorial showing how to paint the white dress. So you can see my colour codes pop up here. That's how my full-length tutorials usually go. They're in real time, and I put up the colour codes so that you can see exactly what I'm using, and then I usually talk about why I'm using that, give you other tips and techniques. So building up lots of the cooler colours in the dress. Really looking for how the light is just creeping around the side of the dress, because don't forget the main direction of light is in front of the couple. So I really want to try and avoid using any white on the back of her dress. Lots of other colours go into creating that effect. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing this painting progress, even though it wasn't all in video form. And I also hope that you'll check back soon to my YouTube channel, check out some of my other videos here. I have lots and lots of playlists covering a multitude of different subject matters, as I really enjoy the challenge of painting everything, and I hope that my channel can provide lots of information to help you attempt everything too. Until next time, happy pasteling.